Hey friends, welcome to the channel. Today in this video we're going to solve the first problem of week 8 of CS50, which is trivia. To see the requirements, the very first thing that we do is we come to this website cs50.harvard.edu/x/psets/8. Once you're here, click on trivia to see the requirements, and once you come down, once you read everything, what you will recognize is we basically have to build something similar to this, which is going to be a MCQ website, which also has a place for a free response question, and we have to basically check whether or not the answers entered by the user is correct. So once we have understood what is to be done, the very first thing that we do is we click on Visual Studio Code on the left. Once you do that, it will take you to this particular web page where you log in with your GitHub account. Once you have logged in, what you will see is basically this. If you've been watching my videos, you will know that we are keeping everything organized according to the weeks. So this is week 8. We don't have a folder yet for that, so we'll create a directory or a folder. So first, let's list everything. Okay, we are in the correct place. That is wonderful. So I'll say mkdir week 8. Okay, we have a new folder called week 8. Now we will navigate into that. To do that, we'll say cd as in change directory week 8. Press enter. Okay, here we are. I'll clear the screen as in the terminal. We have a folder called week 8. Now come back to the description, and over here in getting started section you will see this particular command that we can copy that, come back to the terminal, make sure you are inside this folder week 8. We did that by going cd and then the name of the folder, right? Once you're here, paste the command that you copied, and that will give you a .zip file. So we'll unzip this particular zip file. So I'll say unzip trivia.zip, press enter, and that will unzip this particular zip file. And now let's get rid of the zip file because we don't need that anymore. So I'll say rm trivia.zip. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, now that's gone and we have a folder called trivia. Let me clear the terminal again, and I'll say ls. Okay, we have a folder called trivia. I'll change directory into trivia. Okay, we have this. And once we are here, let's open HTML, CSS. We don't really need to do anything with the CSS file. HTML will be enough. So the very first thing that we'll do is we will first run a server. To run a server, what we do is http://server, press enter, and that will give us a link here. If you control click or command click, that will open a web page, right? Okay, these are the two files that we have: index.html, style.css. So click on index.html and that will basically show you the preview that we have right now. Part 1 multiple choice, part 2 free response. Wonderful. Let's go back to our code. I will hide this sidebar for now, and let's go back to our requirements. Now let's go down slightly. This is what we have to do. In the very first section, part 1, we have to have a question inside a S3, and then we have to have at least 3 buttons which will have options, and only one of those buttons can be correct. So let's start there and then we'll do the rest of the things. So let's go down slightly. Okay, this is our script, JavaScript. We'll come slightly down, and this is part 1, multiple choice. So we was told to have an S3 with our question. Now let me create a multiple choice question. We could say, what is the capital of Nepal, for example? That is where I'm from. So we have the S3, and now we will have to have options, and options we were said to have in buttons, right? So I'll say button, and then I could say Pokhara. Similarly, we could say Kathmandu, for example. We could say Birganj. We could say Lumbini. Okay, these are our options. Okay, for example, if I save this right now by saying Ctrl S or Command S, and if I go back to our preview and if I reload this page, we have the options, right? But nothing happens right now. So what are we asked to do? What we are told to do is, using JavaScript, add logic so that the button changes color when the user clicks on them, right? So that basically means is we have to do 2 things. The first thing is, let's say I click on this button, Pokhara. Is Pokhara the capital of Nepal? No, it's not. Then the button, the background of the button should become red. And if the answer were correct, for example, Kathmandu is the correct answer, then the background should turn green, right? But along with that, we also have to do one other thing, which is if the option that user chooses is incorrect, there should appear a text right underneath the question. and if it is correct, a correct text will appear. So what we will do is, first of all, let's create a placeholder. So right under the question, I'll say paragraph, and I'll give this paragraph an ID. Let's say correct capital. Okay. And using JavaScript, when the user clicks on a button, I will basically add some text here, incorrect or correct, depending on the response that is given by the user. So let's say button, right? What do we want to do now? We have 4 buttons, but what we want to do is we want to take a certain action, or basically we want to check a certain condition when the user clicks on one of these buttons. So we have an attribute called onClick. When this button is clicked, what I want to happen is I want to call a function called check capital, right? And I want to do the same with every other button. So I'll just copy and paste. Now we have this function, right? But how is anything going to work? That is where the JavaScript comes in, right? If you come here, let me make this smaller slightly. So let's add a comment for the MCQ. So we will start with a function, right? Function. The function that we are checking when the button is clicked is called check capital. Let's just start with console.log. That will make things a lot easier. So what we want to do is when the user clicks on the button, we don't just want to call this function. When we are calling the function, we will also want to pass in this entire thing or just this value. That way we will have access to the value that the user clicked on, the button that the user clicked on, right? So when I do this, I'll just pass in this with the function, right? That is what the JavaScript will receive. And for example, here I'll say content, and if I console log content, what that will do is, okay, let me first save this. I'll come back here, I'll reload this. Currently it doesn't seem like anything happened, but if I inspect window and if I go to console, so if I click on the button, what you will see is the entire element is being logged here in the console, right? But what we want to access is the value that is here. I could say dot value, but that wouldn't work, because for dot value to work, we would have to add another attribute called pokhara, for example. But right now, let's just keep it simple. So instead of console logging the content.value, what I will do is I'll say inner text. If I save it, if I come back here, reload it, as you can see, Pokhara is being displayed, Kathmandu, Birganj. Whatever button I click on, it is being displayed, right? Okay, wonderful. So this is a very important thing that we are going to use. And the way that we are going to use it is here. I will say if this entire thing is not equals to Kathmandu, which is the only correct answer, in that case what we want to do is we want to take content and then we want to say the style of the content, and this I want to make it red. So that means is we are taking the entire element that we got and then we are changing the style of it, and particularly in style we are changing the background to the color red. If I save this, if I reload this, come back here, as you can see, this turns red. Nothing happens here right now. This turns red, this turns red. The only way that something is going to happen for the correct answer is if we add a else clause here, and I say content.style.background is green. If I do this, come back here, reload, and this turns red, this turns red, this turns green. Wonderful. Now the next thing that we have to do is we have to insert a text here, right? Which is basically our correct capital ID. So to access this particular paragraph tag, what we will do is inside this function, we'll need to create an element, basically a variable, const, let's say correct placeholder, which will basically get document dot get element by ID, and the ID is correct capital. And when the incorrect button is clicked, what we want to do is we want to say correct placeholder dot inner text equals to incorrect, add a semicolon, and similarly here we want to say correct. If I save it, if I come back here, reload, if I click here, As you can see, incorrect is displayed and the background is changed. Similarly here, correct, incorrect, incorrect, back here, correct. Wonderful. We got our first part down. That is great. And now this will be for the free response. Now let's go back to the HTML. Let's come down slightly. This is part 2. What you will see is, if you read the description, we have to basically do the pretty much the same thing, but this time we have to have a free response kind of thing. So basically the user should be able to enter some value here and then click on a button to check the answer, right? So again, we'll start with the S3 and let's say our question, what should a smart person do? Question mark. And then we will need to create an input form. For input, we'll have to create an actual form. So we'll start with a form, and inside this we'll say input type is equals to text, and then similarly we will say ID is equals to free response, for example. Okay, this is our input form. If I save this, if I come back here, reload, we have a place to write our answer. And now we also have to create a button, right? So over here I'll create a button, and I would, let's just check answer, and I will give this button an, so on click I want to check smart, which is a function that I'm going to create right now. So the very first thing is we will create a function in the JavaScript, and I'll call this function check smart. And here what we will do is we will first create two variables. First is we will say correct placeholder, which is also going to be pretty much the same thing as above, but this time we want to say correct response, for example. And again, under the question I want to create another paragraph, call it, give it the ID of correct response, which we are going to change later. And once we have this, we will create another variable, and that variable should have the value that is received from this particular input form, whose ID is free response, right? So I'll say free response answer, I guess. I'll say document dot get element by ID, and the ID is this, right? I will want to add semicolons here because why not? Okay, now we have this. What do we do next? Let's say console.log free response answer, right? Dot value. Value is going to be the thing that the user enters. Press enter, come back here, and let's say I say Suraj, for example, check answer. Wonderful. We are able to output the thing. So this is where things get interesting. I'll copy this entire thing, and again I'll say if this dot value is not equals to subscribe. In that case, what we want to do is we want to say the correct placeholder first, its value, or actually inner text, should become incorrect, right? And similarly, what should happen is the free response answer, which is basically the form, its style, and particularly the background, BACKGROUND, should become red. Let's see if this works, and then we'll add the else clause. I'll reload this. I'll say, okay, is this the correct answer? No, it's not. On the other hand, else, if the other thing happens, which is the correct answer, what we want to do is we want to display correct, and we want to make the entire thing green. I'll save this, I'll come back here, I'll reload, and I'll say what should a smart person do? Study, check answer, incorrect, but subscribe, correct. Wonderful. There we go. We have both of our questions, or both of our paths down. Everything is working properly. If you wanted, we could like move this button here and in a way put a condition so that only one button could be activated at a time, but none of that is required, honestly. So this is done. We'll come down, and we don't have check 50 for this particular problem set. So what we'll do is we'll just submit and see what point we get. So I'll copy the submit code, and then I'll come here and I'll expand this again, and I'll stop this by pressing Ctrl C, our server. I'll clear this terminal and I'll paste the submit command, press enter, and let's give it a second to load. And as you can see, are we sure to submit it? Yes, we are. Why yes. Press enter, and this is where our score is. So I'll command click or control click if you're on Windows, click on open, and as you can see, this I submitted earlier, so ignore that. As you can see, we got a full point. CS50 gave us full point for our logic, and there is no point for styling. So this is how you complete the trivia problem of week 8 of CS50. For the homepage problem, come back later, and if you want to watch the other videos for all the other problem sets, make sure to click on the video playlist that is currently being displayed on the screen. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care.